we are right now, and I'm talking quietly because we're at a sit-in, a silent sit-in here right outside New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio's mansion. Looks like there's definitely over 1,000 people here. I might have that number wrong. It might be more than 1,000 people, but literally just people sitting on the ground with their hands up. Black Lives Matter signs. It is a half hour until the New York City curfew at 8 o'clock. It seems the organizers, obviously there's a lot of organizers of the movement here in New York City because there's different protests all over the city. But the organizers wanted to run up to the curfew with a peaceful demonstration, which seems like a pretty good dare to try and dare New York City police to arrest peaceful protesters. And you see adults, you see children out with their parents. You see African Americans, white people, Latinos, Asians, and obviously, you know, there's been a lot of video of fire, cars on fire, looting, tension, you know, police brutalizing protesters, but this is also very powerful. Just seeing the power in silence and peaceful protest.
The uprising after the murder of Dr. King was 6 days non-stop in hundreds of cities and gave us civil rights laws.
And the way that I speak is for my country. That we don't have civil rights. Many people get killed without a right. But we are the world. Because we live in New York and we live in the United States.
Because we live in New York and we live in the United States.
And we have a freedom to speak.
And we have the freedom to speak
and to spread what we feel.
and to spread what we feel.
Why do you let them kill us?
Why do you let them kill us?
Why are the people you chose to protect the ones killing us?
Why are the people you chose to protect the ones killing us?
Why did I have to write my mom a letter so when I get home, she doesn't think I'm dead?
Why do I have to write my mom letters when I get home so she doesn't think I'm dead?
Why do I have to worry about my family talking about whether I'm dead or not when I get home? They don't know if I'm here. They don't know if I'm fighting. Do you guys hear me?
Yes! Let's go.
I want you to see me.
I see you.
I want you to hear me.
We can hear you.
I don't want to die. Life is good.
Life is good.
I want to live.
I want to live.
Stop letting them kill us.
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 Your police are unjust.
The police are unjust.
They don't protect you. They protect property.
They don't protect you. They protect property.
I am not property. kill me.
Don't let them kill me.
Don't let them kill me.
Don't let them kill me.
Thank you.
You may think nothing bad can happen to you or the people you know.
Nothing bad can happen to you or the people you know.
But the people protesting in D.C.,
in D.C.,
in Minneapolis, in Detroit, in Brooklyn, we're not given a warning
We're not given a warning
when things turn violent.
when things turn violent.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Fuck these racists.
Police.
Now they're chanting,
Who street?
Our street.
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 so somebody speaking right now said, you know, if you don't want any issues, if you don't want to get arrested, please go home, because the curfew is in 10 minutes. And now they're saying, hands up, don't shoot, hands up, don't shoot.
Hands up. Don't shoot. Hands up. Don't shoot. Hands up. Don't shoot. Hands up. Don't shoot. Hands up. Don't shoot.
And they're calling for de Blasio to resign. You know, de Blasio has essentially let the police just terrorize black and brown communities in New York City. Even though he's talked the talk about reform, he has not done a significant amount to overhaul the police department here. He did have the power to fire the police officer that killed Eric Garner. It took over 5 years for that police officer to be fired, and the police commissioner fired him, not the mayor. And I want to remind you, I mean, it's not really being talked about, but you got thousands of people out in New York City, tens of thousands all over this country. I mean, there's still a pandemic going on, but people are just, hey, they're willing to take the health risk to speak up and to stand on the front lines against this police terrorism that has gone on way too long. And remember, these protests are continuing even after the charges were brought today against the 3 other officers who were involved with George Floyd's murder. So they're continuing because it's about more than George Floyd. This is about decades and decades and decades of police brutality against black people. Hell, centuries of terrorism and sin against black people. So this is about much more than just the George Floyd murder.
I think the energy is excellent, and I think this is exactly what we need. The first step to making a change is to raising awareness. So I think people need to educate themselves, be a part of the movement, but we also need to understand that we're all doing this with the intention of driving change. That's change with the companies that we support, who need to demand and affect change in the communities that they profit from. That's change in the government. Our government officials need to be aware of the people that support them, and we need to make sure that criminal justice reform is on the agenda of every elected official. Furthermore, we need to make sure that we're supporting the organizations that make things like this possible, donating to the NCAACP and other criminal defense funds that support protesters and make this organization possible. So I think it's absolutely excellent, the energy here, and as you can see, it's peaceful. There's no violence, there's good energy. Everyone just wants to affect positive change.
And you know, your sign is so powerful. I don't want my mother to worry about me getting killed. It's like it's another level and a barrier when you go out at night. Your parents having to worry way more than my parents ever had to worry. How is that just living your daily life like that?
Well, you know, it breaks my heart to hear when my mother tells me that she cries every night when she sees stuff like this happen, and that she worries for my safety. Frankly, black women in this country have too much of a burden to bear, and being worried about their children being killed is certainly should not be one of them.
And do you think there's more pressure on the politicians right now? You think they're feeling the pressure?
I hope so. I saw CNN reporting that there are protests in all 50 states, so it means that the message being verbalized and to the level that we want to see it verbalized. So I expect that politicians will come out and address the situation so that we know where they stand, and also so that we understand what plans they have in place to affect change of the systemic injustice that has been put in this place and this country was built on for the last few centuries.
What's your name?
My name is Katie and Reed.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
They're now turning on 79th Street. Now you see police here. So we'll see if they start trying to arrest people. The police are coming up on your right. But honestly, I don't really know how the police start arresting people in bulk who are peacefully protesting. What do you think of the energy out here?
This is the first time I've ever been a part of a protest, and it's bigger than me. It's bigger than life right now. It's a universal thing. Feels amazing.
And now that the officers have been charged, how do you see it evolving from here? Because it doesn't seem like it's ending.
Hopefully they get convicted, but they don't have a good track record of doing that, so we just got to see, Hopefully this isn't just a fad. This isn't trendy for social media. Let these white people know that we really live this every day.
And what do you want to see in terms of New York City reform? Because the police department here is obviously...
Defund the police.
Defund the police. I couldn't say it better. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Say her name!
Breonna Taylor!
Say her name!
Breonna Taylor!
Say her name!
And there you have protesters were moving for an ambulance, and the ambulance the driver said Black Lives Matter, which is nice. What do you think? It's been a long day, but what do you think? Have you seen protests like this?
No, I like what I see, is people really, they believe in this cause, and they it's very heartening to see all these people out here, usually you would think that, most white people don't really give a shit about what the fuck we going through, but it's like, it's an everybody problem. It's not just a black problem, it's a black, white, Asian. We all have to respect each other. We all need to understand that every life matters, and until Black Lives Matter, that won't be possible. So I didn't expect it to be this multiracial. I know that we're not in this fight alone, and I'm very happy to see this, I'm very proud of my city.
I think the energy is great. I think it's good to see so many people from different walks of life coming together for the cause and not paying attention to the negativity, but getting to the problem. Because so many people skip past what the issue was to the retaliation. This is people's retaliation to a hate crime, and people need to know that. So I think the energy is unmatched.
When I've seen CNN and stuff, they only seem to be showing the looting, the fires,
right.
But I don't see them like in the trenches just showing peace.
It's great because we're going to show them this. So that's what it is. Definitely.
Talk about you personally. What's been your experience with the police?
Experience with the police. I mean, I'm not from the worst neighborhood. I'm, from Long Island, but my experience with the police has been pretty much a negative one. It's always you could feel a lot of the aggression. You could feel a lot of the judgment. Anytime I've been pulled over, they come out with their gun on the hand on their gun already, and it's like I don't even know what I'm being pulled over for. You know what I mean? I've always felt the hostility. I feel like police officers take themselves away from being human beings, and they're just officers. They're just a badge, and that's got to change.
I got to tell you, I join you. I tweeted earlier. I am ashamed to be from Long Island today. I'm from Long Island, and I see these fucking Trump fanatics out there with their "Don't tread on me," and they were trying to stop protests on Long Island. The police blocked protesters from getting on a main road. So I gotta do something about Long Island.
To Freeport, because Freeport protested, I think yesterday. Hempstead will protest on Friday, so I'm gonna be there. So Long Island they're picking up the slack, and they're doing what they got to do out there too, because they have their own kind of police issues. You know what I mean? It's a bit intense out here, but out there they have their police brutality issues as well.
What's your name?
Jacob.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. So now you see the police behind us. You see the police behind us. So far, they're just kind of trailing the protesters. They're not cracking skulls yet, but we'll see. See what happens. Now they're hooking a right. The protesters are hooking a right on 75th and 75th Street and York Avenue. They're saying hands up, don't shoot, hands up, don't shoot. You see the police? I mean, look at this. Look at this line of police. Holy cow. Look at how many police they have, literally, for a peaceful protest. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 police cars. It's truly unbelievable. All that for a very peaceful protest that started with people kneeling, sitting. So, I don't know. Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.
Status Coup.